In the heart of the Mediterranean, on a small island called Corsica, a child was born in 1769. His name was Napoleon Bonaparte. Born into a modest family, little did they know that this child would change the face of the world forever. From a young age, Napoleon was different. Though his family was not rich, his mind was sharp, and his heart burned with passion for military science. Despite the obstacles, he thrived in military school, preparing for a journey that would make him one of the greatest leaders in history. But fate wouldn't wait. At a young age, Napoleon became a commander. At the Battle of Toulon, a single voice echoed through the battlefield. Napoleon. With unmatched courage, he led the French army against the British. Little did he know that this was just the first chapter of his legendary story. Then came the Italian campaign. This wasn't just a war, it was a journey of victory deep into the heart of Europe. Under Napoleon's leadership, the French army achieved astonishing victories, and no one could stand in his way. With his genius, Napoleon became a hero in the eyes of the French people. But was that all? No. In 1804, Napoleon stood in the heart of Paris. There was a sense of destiny in the air, and at that moment, there was no turning back. He crowned himself Emperor of France, ushering in a new era for Europe. At the Battle of Austerlitz, Napoleon stood at his peak, an invincible leader. No one could challenge him. Every step he took wrote new chapters of victory. Under his banner, the world bent to the might of his empire. But in every hero story, there comes a moment of reckoning. In 1812, Napoleon made the fateful decision to invade Russia. He thought victory was certain, but the snow, the bitter cold, and the sting of betrayal had other plans. His final campaign became a disaster, and with it, Napoleon's dream of conquering the East was shattered. At the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon faced his final destiny. He was more than a military leader. He was a living legend. And though he was defeated, it wasn't the end of the story, but the beginning of a legend that would never die. Exiled to the island of St. Helena, where he would take his last breath. But he left behind an empire of ideas, laws, and power. Napoleon Bonaparte wasn't just an emperor, he was a symbol of will, intellect, and unyielding strength. And so, Napoleon Bonaparte lives on in the pages of history, studied in academies, and his story told all over the world. Because he was more than a leader, he was a legend. The end.